ZKGM.
ZKGM, Frank.
Thank you so much for welcoming you to the Union Hacker House. Is it a hacker house or it's a...
We call it Union Hub. I guess this is a bit of a way for us to show both projects we partner with and projects building on top of us, give them a bit of a stage to talk about what they're doing.
Yeah, so I'm at the Union Hall and I'm honored to have the presence of the Union founder himself. So please introduce yourself to the viewers.
Yeah, so I'm 0x Kaiser Karel if you follow me on Twitter, or just Karel in real life. Before founding Union, I was a developer for 8 years actually. CTO at Composable Finance, and before that worked in crypto since basically forever. I think that gives me an advantage because I really know very well how the underlying architectures work, the day-to-day for a developer, even though now as a founder I don't do that much anymore for hardcore coding. Union is kind of my baby, to be honest. It's a dream project that I wanted to build since forever. It's what I think is like the last thing crypto needs to really be like the next web. Truly what we need to unite all blockchains, to get UX to where it needs to be, and to still align with like our principles of decentralization.
Alright, so the first time I heard about Union was at actually a crypto conference with a friend of mine. He was telling me that a friend of his has left to work with Union. Then it piqued my curiosity to go and find out what Union is about. You will correct me if I'm wrong. So I got to realize Union is an interoperability where it's kind of enabling all kinds of blockchains to do like cross-chain stuff. So maybe could you explain the problem that you saw, and you saw the need to form Union to solve this problem?
Yeah, so basically identified two issues. One was people started creating more blockchains, and that actually is not an issue in and of itself, because more blockchains is good, because it gives a better UX, that gives us more performance. If everything goes on the same blockchain, there's no space for all users. We couldn't move traditional finance on-chain if we did it on just one chain. The solution that crypto came up with that was bridges originally. And bridges really are like MasterCard or Visa. They're a company that takes your funds and gives you new funds on another chain. And that model, where they take control of your funds, has two big issues. One is they can get hacked, which has happened actually, and multiple billions have been lost in bridge hacks. The other thing is they're a centralized party, right? And crypto is all about not having centralized intermediaries. So we saw the issue arriving that crypto was slowly becoming, to be honest, Web 2 again. Just regular banks, because these bridges started taking control of funds, started taking control of ownership. And so Union is our solution to that. It's a bridge solution that doesn't take custody of your funds, where we are not like a centralized party that hovers above you, but instead where we leverage like really cutting edge cryptography to no longer need us to be that centralized party in between.
Yeah, so what Union is doing is it's building like a cross-chain kind of interoperability without necessarily holding the funds of users.
Exactly. So I, as like CEO of Union, I cannot even stop the network. And if I want to shut it down, that's impossible. I cannot steal user funds. I cannot freeze user funds. All of that is like very hardcore aligned with the original crypto ethos. And on top of that, anyone can technically like serve the Union network. They can submit transfers for it, generate zero knowledge proofs. So it allows a lot of people to come in and basically build on top of Union and participate here. And there's really no other protocol out there that allows you to do this.
Yeah, it's a really pretty amazing technology. I was wondering, maybe you can give us like a small snapshot of the technology you're using to build Union, and maybe just like a shout out to any kind of technology that builders who are willing to contribute to the Union can engage into and contribute.
Yeah, so Union is very complex. So I like to tell people to kind of create a mental model of 3 different layers. One is like our cryptography layer, where we generate zero knowledge proofs. If you have a mathematics background, if you really like that stuff, that's good to dive in. But that's not intended for 99% of developers to work on, because it's quite complex. That is what allows us to stay fully decentralized. So if you want to know, for example, how ZK-L2s work, Ethereum's next-gen roadmap, they announced it, and on what they will do with the beacon chain, that's all technology that Union already uses. So if you want to get ahead and basically know where's this cutting edge like, look at this lowest layer. On top of that, we have our protocol, which is how our assets transferred, how our messages sent. That's a lot of fun, if you like networking, I/O, if you kind of want to like rebuild the internet but better. I find that portion actually immensely interesting, and I do a lot of work on this protocol layer itself, and that is where most people interact with. They basically code against the protocol layer. Those are some projects that build on top of Union, or our partners leverage the protocol layer. And then on top of that we have the app layer. Union itself has a couple of apps with people building apps on Union, and you can then again build apps on top of those. That I would say is probably what 90% of developers want to do actually. They want to be in this app layer specifically and build something that has a UI, that has like end users. Because Union itself is, like I say, business to business. Right, we're within API layer, we work with other chains and protocols, and we love to help people, support them with grants if they build user-facing applications on Union.
Alright, so there's like grants for builders who are trying to solve. Are there also spaces for infra developers,
Yeah,
apart from the app
and you
level
can build
developers?
additional infra on top of Union. So anything, to be honest, that betters humanity, right? By basically giving people access to open finance is something that we support with Union. So it doesn't matter what crazy ideas you have, contact us and we will help you in any way possible.
Right. Do you have probably one or two ideas that you're really, should I say, bullish on, projects that you're really looking forward to some developers to work on?
Yeah, I'd love to partner with projects that integrate with fiat off-ramp and on-ramping, because that would make the protocol layer absolutely perfect. Union already is kind of payment railways that connects all blockchains, but it doesn't connect banks yet, right? So that's what I want to turn Union into the first system that literally connects everything. Any bank, any TradFi institution, any blockchain, any L2, all one API layer to interact with those. So if you work on the periphery of blockchain and traditional finance, and you think that's what I find interesting, fiat on-ramping, that's something that I would like immediately support with Union to have that into our protocol. Other stuff that I'm excited about is applications that don't tell the user which blockchain they are on. Because I am sick of having to switch my wallets between different chains. I don't care on which chain this meme coin DEX is on. I just want to buy the meme coin. So basically applications that work in this way, that basically just tell the user you can buy these things, or you can do these things, and then use Union under the hood for routing, that I'm really keen to see as well. And those can be cross-chain lending protocols, cross-chain DEXs, meme coin aggregators, staking and liquid staking, and integrators into those. I think that's a massively interesting industry, because now we have Babylon, Symbiotic and Eigenlayer, and we're going to get a few more restaking platforms soon on different networks. So actually for users to participate in all of them is going to be a massive amount of effort. So an abstraction layer on top of that I think would be really successful.
Yeah, there you have it. So that's a major thing to work on, abstraction.
Exactly.
I don't have to know what I'm using, so long as I build on Union, and then everything is seamless. So yeah, we're looking forward to sharing this with all the developers out there. And is there something for people who are not necessarily developers, like maybe creators and article researchers?
Researchers can soon join our program to co-author research with our research department. I think that's interesting because it offers a different look at Union, right? Like someone else giving their opinion is a nice like third-party reference. It helped build out the knowledge base that we have. If you're basically just in crypto as a regular user, you can help us test out our testnet, and that actually helps us tremendously. It allows us to find bugs early, but also refine the UX. That's what we found most useful from our testnet actually, is people just giving us honest feedback and saying, I like this button, I dislike this, add more of this stuff here, remove this step. Because in the end, like, I'm a developer myself, I'm very technically literate. So I usually like to overcomplicate things. So having that like clean vision from someone who's not a developer who says, this is too complex, can you make it easier? It's very valuable.
Alright, thank you so much. Are there any probably last few words that you want to share with the world about Union that we should look into?
I would say now is definitely the time to join the Union, join our Discord, participate. This is really like the first wave of our early community. We look to work with them to have them be a core integral part of the next 5 to 10 years of our journey. And I want to hear all of these opinions that come in. I want to know what people want Union to become so we can build it.
Maybe something I forgot. Can I classify Union as a service for the whole blockchain because it's not really into one chain but all chains.
Exactly. You can almost see it as like a true layer zero solution, not an L1, but an L0, because it really lies underneath all these blockchains. It's probably the most like fundamental infrastructure that you can have.
All right, thank you so much for your time, and we hope to have more conversations about Union and keep building and improving Union.
I'm sure we will. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Thank you guys.